Elite Dangerous is a game that's had a growing fanbase ever since its release nearly 4 years ago now. There's been updates, patches, added content, they've even discovered a new alien species. But there's one problem that's ruining it for some players, and nothing seems to be getting done about it.
Combat logging is when a player quits a game by task killing or forcing internet disconnection during combat. When you combat log, you're cut off from the game and the loss or the death just isn't registered. In Elite Dangerous's case, that means you don't face the risk of losing your ship like you normally would. The game's developers, Frontier, say they're aware of combat logging and have clarified that the game was not intended to be played this way.
Speaking on the Elite Dangerous support forums back in January 2015, some weeks after the game's December 2014 release, lead designer Sandro Samarco clarified that combat logging was, quote, an undesirable exploit. That made it theoretically a bannable offence. In reality though, players say there's no real consequences at all for combat logging. After addressing growing concern, Frontier advised players of the reporting system in Elite Dangerous. Whenever you report a combat logger to Frontier's customer support wing as requested, 9 times out of 10 you'll get a response like this one. We take this kind of report very seriously and will investigate further. Unfortunately, we're not able to discuss the outcome of this investigation, but the player will be dealt with.
Quick thing to bear in mind there, that was 2014. That was the year that we said there, so just remember that when we say the words we're about to say.
So what's the point in combat logging? Why would you do it? Why would you just task kill a game rather than just take it like a man and let your ship get destroyed? Well, there's a rebuy price, and what
ship,
that is,
right? No, shit.
That's a ship with a P, yeah. All your shit.
Shit
yeah. Your figurative shit, yeah. Basically, in Elite Dangerous, your ship is the main vessel for you, and when it gets destroyed, you have to buy it back from your insurance, which is 5% of the total cost of your ship. So every time you get destroyed in PvP or PvE, you'll have to spend 5% of the cost of that ship to get it back. So as you can imagine, if there's any sort of sense that you're about to lose a battle, just get out of there. You don't have to, I mean, there's no consequence for doing that. It's not right, and that's what Frontier have said. They've gone out of their way and said it's an exploit. So what's stopping them? What measures are they taking to stop people doing this? Well, let's have a look. In a bid to find out, Redditors on the Elite Dangerous subreddit ran their own investigations on this in 2016, supplying Frontier with some hard evidence that combat loggers were being reported and not penalised. Following that investigation, Frontier apologised and acknowledged directly that, quote, on this occasion, we didn't follow the processes that we set out and subsequently these reports were not actioned. So, they apologised and assured the community it wouldn't happen again in 2016. Then, in mid-2017, a second investigation was started, and Redditors had once again cooked up a plan to see for themselves the consequences of combat logging. Redditor Commander Ryan _M17 and others created an account specifically to use for combat logging in an effort to be caught in the act and hopefully get an idea of what Frontier are actually doing.
They played the game as normal. They were an active account in Elite Dangerous, playing as usual, but they purposefully combat logged multiple times. All combat logs were recorded from the aggressor's perspective, showing clearly these combat logs each time they happened. Ryan M17 would ensure multiple tickets were submitted for combat logging, which would establish a pattern of behaviour for this account. Over the course of 5 months, they did this 5 separate times, filing multiple reports every time. And did any of the multiple reports of the multiple offences get the account banned or even punished? No.
We spoke to Commander Ryan directly about this via email. The guilty account has still received no punishment, no account limitations, and in fact, not even a single in-game warning. Ryan told us, quote, nothing has changed in the slightest regarding combat logging, which is the reason we've done operations like this twice now. They have not made a serious attempt to curb it in the entire time since launch. It has killed the entire piracy profession in the process. Ryan told us that combat logging not only affects piracy, but multiple professions in the game due to the lack of risk and consequence of death. Quote, a critical part of the risk of open, multiplayer, is the risk of death. If that part of the equation doesn't exist for unscrupulous people, it really fucks things up for the rest of us.
We reached out to Frontier for a response, but they just pointed us towards a statement from their social media manager on Reddit. That read, quote, while we understand the frustration caused when met with combat logging, continuous attempts at uncovering our investigation methods is not the way to assist with this being dealt with, as any information we give could be used to avoid detection. I'm sure you can appreciate that finding a solution that allows for automatic detection against rule breakers while also being fair on honest players is something that holds a number of challenges. It is something under discussion and active consideration, but we have nothing to announce right now.
Continuous attempts to investigate us isn't going to assist with this. Well, they're not doing it to assist, they're doing it to catch you out for being liars. That's what they're aiming to do here, to prove that you're doing nothing, which has happened before, and they had previously, or you had previously, Frontier, admitted, oh, in this circumstance, we hadn't done anything. But hey, don't worry, because next time we'll be taking some steps. So 1 year's passed, it's happened again. Even more reports, it's happened over a longer period of time. This has been happening for 5 months, this sting operation, and nothing's happened. And they keep saying, well, we're not going to tell anyone what we're doing because then it'll help combat loggers figure us out, and then they'll be able to do it more. But currently what they seem to be doing is nothing. So
they want it to be like a passive thing that they can just apply and it works. That's what it kind of sounds like anyway. There's multiple reports on multiple occasions for this account that this kind of dummy account that these people set up to try and get banned, essentially, to see if it works.
Yeah.
How do you kind of keep an eye on people who just break internet connections on purpose and people who just do it by mistake? Like, it's a difficult thing to track down.
This is the problem though, because Frontier have been saying, yeah, we are aware of that, we've actually got our own internal method to detect this. The way that they keep saying, we've got this covered, guys, don't worry, is the reason that people are annoyed.
Yeah,
because it just seems like a lie and it seems dishonest. Because the Elite Dangerous community is actually really tight. There's loads and loads of people that have been commenting on our videos talking about how great it is and stuff like that. And they've got a very, very dedicated community. And all they want is a bit of honesty, just to admit, we could do with some help. The fact that they're saying, no, guys, we've got this, just, hey, just stop talking about, hey. I mean, there's a whole...
Stop trying to figure us out, guys.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, investigating us has never helped anybody. But there's a whole subreddit dedicated specifically to people trying to tackle this combat log thing with reports. There's video evidence in these reports that we just mentioned where somebody's attacking this combat logger. You can see the combat logger just vanish into thin air. And Frontier have said, yeah, cool, we've got that, mate, cheers. And you can see by the view count, the video hasn't even been watched. So they're replying to it saying, yeah, cool, thanks a lot. Nothing's been done about it. Seems like they're really pissing off the community with their dishonesty. Just be a bit more open, maybe.
One other thing to mention as well, just the brackets at the end, I guess. The footage that you would have seen during the voiceover there, some of that was actually the reported footage that was sent to Frontier, which shows quite clearly combat logging in progress. That was sent to Frontier, and yet nothing was done about it.
Speaking of ignoring your fans' concerns, let's have a look at our comment section.
First up, commenting on our Best of 2017 video, Chaos Prototype 9 says, quotes, "Let us write down all the games we liked this year and make up award categories for them." Yes, that's exactly what we did.
That is, yeah.
That's what you do, isn't it?
We thought of the games first.
Yeah.
And then we thought, ooh, best cat with what other games is going to have a cat and a baseball bat in? Monster Hunter World? Actually, yeah.
That's got 255 likes, man.
I got some, yeah.
I don't know why that's so bad. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's think of all the games we like. Yeah, what awards can we give them? Commenting on our unpopular opinions video, Dizzy Gear says, "Here's a huge unpopular opinion. Obsidian Entertainment / Blackout Studios are better than BioWare, old and new."
We found a way of sneaking another unpopular opinion into this one, even though it's not about unpopular opinions. There was a lot of good comments in that section. We thought it was just going to be people telling us, how they're going to dismember us or whatever. But actually, no. It was full of people saying, you know what? You've given us the bravery to step up. I also don't like The Witcher 3 that much. So that was good. Obsidian over BioWare?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Why not? And on the Pretty Good Gaming Highlights video, WhooperTube says, "It will soon be spring and Jake can put his shitty hipster jumper away." Well, I'm not wearing that now and we're in the middle of winter. You're pretending to be a duck on the internet. I've got quite a lot of them, to be honest, but you're quite right. Spring in the UK gets pretty cold though. It snows a lot more in spring than it does in winter, so who knows? Could be in for some more.
Jumpers are almost as interesting as beards, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they got you with the beard comment. They said, why wasn't Mike's lack of beard a highlight of the year? Because it wasn't, was it? He was a bit...
walked.
So what do you reckon then? Should Frontier listen to their fans? Are they lying? Aren't they? Who knows? So let us know what you think down in the comments below. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new around here. Hey, there's some more content on the screen right now if you want to check it out. There's also a link to our Patreon if you want to support the channel. Until then, we'll see you next time.